cruise and the descent phase. Of course, in most cases, unless the wind is absolutely somehow crazy, normally you'd only, for the sort of route lengths that the A320 flies, you'd normally be happy with maybe 2 or 3 or tops 4s en route wind points where you enter them, even though we've got more fixes, because the wind en route on cruise does not really vary or change all that much. So if you put in sort of certain key points on the cruise part into the wind prediction, then the airplane will sort of interpolate between them, and they are usually close enough to the real wind conditions.
Okay. I wonder if Active Skynex will assist with some of that atmospheric wind situation.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Can't wait for them to release it, or at least put it out for some sort of a review.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Continuing down the list, we'll build our flight plan here. So we're going KGSP. Our departure today will be on runway 4. If I'm not mistaken, I think the B-Wall and the Bimmer 1 departures actually are going north. That's why we don't have any sort of suggested route that takes us, because we're going south. So we're just going to go to a waypoint called Wanall. So I'm going to put in Wanall, Whiskey Alpha November Oscar Lima. Put that right over that discontinuity. What does the LIM mean? Do we?
Speed limitation.
That's
your 10,000 foot restriction point.
Oh, I haven't seen that in every flight plan, or did I just miss it?
It's there. It's a pseudo waypoint that's generated dynamically by the flight management guidance system.
Okay, I just didn't notice it before. Okay, good information. All right, I'm going to click on Walnall. I'm going to click on Airways, and we're going to go Victor 266 to ELW. It's very interesting that there's some people that say it's sometimes well, a Victor airway is a VFR airway, and it's interesting that the jets will fly this sometimes.
You don't have to, by the way, you don't have to type in the 2 point. You can just go straight to the next airway, and the FMGS will calculate the intersection correctly for you.
Oh, okay. We'll do that for Victor 35. So in this case, we're going to ELW. So what you're saying is if I put in the PZD, it'll automatically
put in Victor 35 and then Victor 97 from your flight plan.
Okay, Victor 35. And then
on the left side, straight underneath it, put in Victor 97.
Really? And don't say where we're exiting Victor 335?
Yeah.
But what happens? It just... Okay.
It should calculate the intersection. At least it did in my case. If your flight plan is correct, then it does for me.
Okay, so I'm just going to put in Victor 97 then.
Yep.
Okay. And then, bam. Okay, nice. I like that. And then we're going to put in. I'm thinking. Well, SCW is. If we had a star, we would get that. We would just put that off of the star's transition. But in this case, it's just a waypoint. So SZW.
And might be. Let's see. Is there an approach that starts at that point?
We'll go on vectors.
Okay, sure.
Hello, Jay Kraus. Good morning. What add-on do you have that tells you your foot per minute? It's called XGS, X-Ray Golf Sierra. XGS. If you do a Google search for XGS and X-Plane, you should have a link to it. Or if someone wants to link it in the chat. It's really for entertainment purposes. It's truly for entertainment purposes. There's people out there who say it's waste of time, lame, blah, blah, blah. I just have it there for entertainment. So you guys can bet on the landing rates. Okay, that is in. I'm going to now go to my perf page. And all right, let's talk a little bit more in depth about this. I've just kind of been cheating, and I've just been putting in 1/up1. How? Talk me through the process to get the accurate setting for our particular flight.
So normally for the real thing, the thing is that the THS value or the trim value for takeoff is normally provided for most real-world flights. It is provided by a specific, these days, an iPad application essentially,
Is
that
that
each
from
airline.
from dispatch, or is it just automatically
Yes.
generated?
No, this is a very proprietary application to a particular airline
Okay.
that usually provide all kinds of takeoff data and performance calculations that are tailored to the particular loadout of the aircraft that the airlines operates.
Okay.
So airline operates. So there's no, I don't have a specific application for this plane. So
Full
I
Toga is
am
saying Top Cat, but I thought Top Cat was more for showing
Topcat.
the V speeds.
Topcat does give you, I think it does give you a THS value, but the problem is that the THS value depends on the weight distribution in the airplane, in this particular airplane. And there are variations between even the same Airbus A320 model, between internal cabin layouts and the number of passengers. Their sort of weight distribution of the plane can change a little bit. So that's why you'd have to basically define a custom configuration for Topcat. Let me actually give this a go. We can try it out. I haven't truly tried it out with Topcat, but I do have Topcat, and we can give it a go and see what sort of number Topcat produces.
Dr. Nerd Rage says performance data is a pita to get.
Yes, very much so.
So, Dr. Nerd Rage, I had to chuckle at your comment in the forum yesterday about asserts blood pressure. I had to chuckle, but I think you were serious. I shouldn't read the forum right here in the middle of the stream, but all right. So you're gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead. Is it okay, my virtual CFI, if I put in 18,000 on the transition altitude?
You must put in 18,000 because
Okay.
we're in the U.S.
I was just asking for permission to do it now, CFI man.
Sure. What sort of passenger load you got there?
I believe it's 89. Let me verify.
I remember you got 4 tons of cargo.
89 passengers, and they're American passengers.
Sure. So let's see what Topcat
And a couple
gives.
Tongans.
It might give a sensible number, it might not, so we will have to deal with that. Let's see. It does, Topcat gives me 0.5 down. So let's try that. I don't know if Topcat's number is going to make any sense. It might not. We'll deal with that.
We're gonna find out, Franz, if we have penguins in the back today or not. We're gonna watch that temperature because 2 people so far could not recreate my minus 55 degrees in the cabin and the flight deck. So, but again, we were wearing spacesuits, so it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna do a 0 on the flaps. Is that right? 0 slash.
No, hang on. 1
Okay.
slash
1 slash.
DN 0.5.
DN. I missed it. DN what?
0.5.
0.5. All right. And would you like to? We have a dry runway. Would you like to do a flex?
Topcat gives us, you can go flex up to 66 degrees, and that'll still give you about 2,000 feet of margin.
66.
Feel free if you want to go full toga, that's fine as well. But
I'm gonna
66
ask one person in the chat if they want me to go toga or if they want me to flex. Full toga in the chat. Would you like me to flex? Can I clear it once I put in the 66?
You can just ignore it. If you want to go toga, you just shove the throttles all the way forward.
Okay. I'll leave the 66 in there then. 9 full toga, he said. I'm just going to clear it. Okay. In this case, V2 135, VR 131. What would I set my V1 as?
V1 is dependent on runway conditions and runway length. But for this runway, you've got plenty of runway left, so you can set your V1 same as VR. So that means you're committed the moment you actually start rotating for takeoff.
131.
Yes. This is, again, another one of those things that an airline pays big bucks to for some software company to do all these computations for them.
To save them money.
Yes.
Okay, perf is done. Flight plan, let's just triple check for discons. It looks really good. Except for that one. So let's clear that out. Temporary insert. All right, so now I'm going to look for my well, we don't know what the approach is. So should we wait until we are closer to the airport and we'll check the ATIS before we select our approach here in the McDo, or should we put one in now?
It's fine.
Okay.
You can do it like this. You can leave it as is. The FMGS should calculate essentially a straight line to the airport for the descent profile. Then once you put in some more information, it'll refine that estimation for you.
Okay. And in order to do a step through, I'm used to doing the step through on the Boeing. If I just go to the plan, and then I can, is there a step button, or what? How do I get?
Yes, of course. You go to the flight plan page on the McDo.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up the McDo here virtually, and I'm going to move this over for a moment. And
just scroll through the flight plan.
And in my, just as a disclaimer, so you don't get frustrated with me as a student, sometimes I will ask questions that I already know the answer to, but I want the stream to understand. That's my excuse for acting like I know something when I don't, on occasion. Okay, I missed it. So to go from SCW to the next one is where?
Just scroll, just hit the flight plan button to bring yourself up to the first.
Hit the flight plan button, and then go down. So we're going to go one all. I'm going to change the range here.
Just scroll the same as normal.
Yep, one all, Pels, ELW, Heart, and essentially, Johnfly has an official word for this part of the flight. This is called looking for spaghetti. So if you have a spaghetti flight plan drawn out, you may want to rethink your route. Spaghetti is not a good thing in this particular case. AHN, it's even giving the distances. That's cool. All right, so it says Maddie here, and then it's got the 94 nautical miles. Is that from the previous waypoint, the 94? Or is that, let's see, Maddie is, no, that's from origination, it looks like. Yeah. But I don't know what the 219 is. Is that like an altitude prediction?
That's a course.
That is the course, 219. Perfect. Tim KRMC, hello. Don't ever try to find the airport KRMC, guys. It's a virtual airport. In fact, I'm going to create it in WED one day. Ocarius Gaming, hello. Delta Who's in a heavy conversation with cloud action. That's good. All right, so we'll continue to step down through this. Gloss, Cinca, MCN. So you have to wait a little while before that course and distance comes in. Phil Bose. Now, if I am correct, it looks like this little arrow that's just above Bose, is that our top of descent?
Yes.
Okay. Top of descent
It
We got
also says T/D as a pseudo waypoint on the MCDU.
just above the Bose it has T/D. Okay. You created a fictional grass strip vision? Can you share it with me? I'd like to go to this fictional place. Okay, we got Fraud, Lily, Bavka, Capik, Desks, PZD, Elmo, Doggy, Lebby, Reno, SZW, and then it's SZW Direct. I love it. You're having a civilized British lecture. I love it. Okay, I think that looks good. We've stepped through. We're happy with that part of the plan. I'm going to go ahead and continue with some of my flows at this point. We're going to change the flows next weekend when we get our modified checklist, but for right now, we'll just use my flows. No smoking is on, Val Dudes. Emergency exit light is armed. Probe heat on auto, and fuel pumps are being turned on. So fuel pump 1 left tank, fuel pump 2 left tank, center tank pump 1, center tank pump 2, right tank pump 1, right tank pump 2. The barrow today, according to the data output, is 3036. I'm just going to leave the barrel up for now. All right, 3036. So we'll come up here and we'll change. No, I'm not. I'm going to get rid of the barrel. Let's see how accurate FlightFactor is, just as a comparison. So FlightFactor, airports, GSP, weather, 3035. It's pretty close.
By the way, there's an air mit for approximately half of your route out. You might get some bumps along the way from flight level 300 to 410. They're reporting moderate turbulence. So
would I toggle SIGMETs for that? Maybe I would.
It's an air mit on Skype. Oh, SkyVector, sorry.
So on FlightFactor, it looks like. I'm just wondering. There should be an air mit listing.
There you go.
Yeah. Turbulence at flight levels 300 to 410. Okay. Beautiful. I've never brought up air mets on my FlightFactor before. This is FlightFactor. Don't ask that question in YouTube. Okay. Back to our procedures here. The fuel pumps are on. The barrow needs to be set to 3036. And altitude. We don't have I mean, ATC is going to restrict us. Let's say ATC restricts us to that 10,000. What I'm going to need from you is to remind me to according to this 10,000 until is that 11 miles out? I'm restricted to according to this. Is that what it's saying for this first LIM? 250 knots, 10,000 at 11 miles, right? Hello?
So the limitation works. The limitation pseudo waypoint is basically there just as a reminder for you. It's not really a waypoint that you're going to be flying to. It's just a computed sort of distance along the other two waypoints, the waypoint named 2440 and Wanel. 2440 is just a pseudo waypoint.
No, what I'm asking is if I'm simulating ATC giving me climb and maintain 10,000.
Yeah.
But my flight plan, I want to make sure that I change the altitude in my FCU to go above to cruise.
Of
But
course.
what I'm saying is if I calculate these two distances, that's about the point where I want to change it, right? Is about 11 miles from the
Approximately,
airport.
but yes, it's approximately 11 miles. Yes, that's the in between distance between the two waypoints. But it will change if you, for instance, do a little bit slower rotation on takeoff. It will change if you initially get limited to a lower altitude. That limit will drift down your flight plan, or it can drift up if you really, really start climbing really fast.
Okay.
So that, yeah, you can sort of consider that a kind of a distance estimate, but it's not meant to be used as that.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So we got. All right. So I just need to remember to change that altitude. Otherwise, the plane's going to stay at 10,000. Okay.
Don't worry, I can be your ATC.
Perfect. Master switch on the APU coming on. I'm going to wait just a few seconds because yesterday, if you guys were present, I clicked on master switch and I immediately went to start. There is a little bit of a, you need to just wait us a little bit and then click to start. Not as long as I just did, but you need to make sure that this on light comes on. And then this menu down here, you can scroll into or you can disconnect it. And watch that APU rise. Lex Harstone, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Remind me, guys, to do remind me to do the last joystick qualifier today when we're in cruise. If someone could remind me, I need to do we have the 5th joystick qualifier today. We're going to give away one joystick between noon Eastern and 1 Eastern. So, and we've got 4 people that qualified this week, and I'll draw one more, and we're going to do a raffle with the snacks. Okay, the APU is on. I'm going to turn the APU bleed on. We're giving away a Gladiator Mark II joystick. APU bleed's on. And GPU is now, I'm going to turn off external power, and I'll disconnect. Everything here seems to be disconnected. I'm going to disconnect the ground power unit. I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to turn my beacon on because we're getting ready for pushback. Now you guys, again, if I seem repetitive, it's just because there's some people that are new that are coming in here. You can use your mouse scroll wheel to manipulate these switches, or you can click. You have the option. It's really a beautiful situation.